are you here to buy some medicine?
Are you lost?
Oh, Chi-Chi.
No, I'm not. My name's Ayu, and I'm here because...
Ayu kind of sounds like a sneeze, not gonna lie.
Hey there, Chi-Chi. Hi, Gui. What's going on? Hi, Traveler and Paimon.
Have we ever met Chi-Chi, by the way? I think we only met Chi-Chi when she was behind a counter, right? It was the only encounter we ever had with Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi doesn't even have a character quest. She got completely neglected. Oh, no.
You've actually come at the perfect time. This little boy seems to have gotten himself lost. I think he must be new to the city. Probably wandered away from his parents and...
No, listen to me. I'm not the one who's lost. It's my dad.
Your dad? How does a fully grown man manage to get lost in Liyue Harbor?
Well, my dad's always been kind of forgetful. In the past, he was just a little slow to react sometimes. But I'm worried that it's getting more serious.
So, what about your mom?
Dangerous question to ask in this game.
She went out a few days ago to gather some herbs for my
Okay,
dad.
that's okay.
But she still hasn't come back. Meanwhile, my dad's been getting worse and worse.
Sounds like dementia or something.
I remembered that the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy always runs a clinic in Chingsa Village during the Lantern Ride. So I thought, why don't I take Dad to Liyue Harbor to see him there?
Lantern Ride was a while ago though, but yeah, you must mean Baizhu.
When we got to the city gate, I took a moment to ask the Millith guards for directions to the pharmacy. And then, when I turned back around, my dad was gone. I asked the Millith guys to go find him, but he said they won't be able to send that many people. So then I figured, maybe I can ask some other people in the city to help.
Classic Millilith.
You came to the right place. We're pros at finding people. Isn't that right, Traveler?
Yep, piece of cake for us. We're basically trained specialists at this point.
Changshen can help. She has a good sense of smell, like a dog.
Changsheng was the snake, right?
Hey!
Ah, yep,
Who's
yep.
talking about me behind my back?
Chengsheng, Chi-Chi meant that as a compliment. There's no need to be upset. Hello, child. You mentioned that you were looking for the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy. How might we be of service?
You have a talking snake? Oh, are you Uncle Baizhu?
Uncle Baizhu?
Uncle Baizhu?
Chengsheng, now's not the time. My dear boy, could you tell me more about your father's condition? As much as you can recall.
You know, the snake could kill Baizhu at any moment.
Yes, Uncle...
He's kind of a
Dr.
hostage.
Baizhu.
You
I
explains
see.
the health
And
situation.
your family lives near Chingsa Village, you say? I visit patients there frequently, but I don't recall ever seeing you or your parents.
Uh-huh. My mom doesn't like meeting other people, especially during Lantern Ride. She always tells me to just stay at home and keep my dad company.
Is that so? Ayu, by any chance, is your mother's name Jiangli?
Whoa, yeah, it is. Do you know my mom, Dr. Baizhu?
I certainly do. Gui, Chi-Chi, are there any pressing matters in the pharmacy at the moment? Ayu's parents are old acquaintances of mine, so I would very much like to assist with the search. Would the two of you have time to join me?
Don't forget us two.
Yeah.
We already told Ayu that we'd help.
Yeah, wanna go with you on the journey?
Oh, really? Well, that's wonderful. We are most grateful for your support.
You can count on us.
Chi-Chi and
Probably
I need
more
to clear
than
up the shop
Chi-Chi.
front first, but once that's taken care of, we'll be right out to help you with the search.
Family is very important.
Then I'll leave you to handle the pharmacy. Traveler, Paimon, why don't you come with me and Ayu? Let's start by talking to the Millilith guards at the city gates, see if they have an update.
Yeah, of course they have. As if the Millilith ever did anything. Am I supposed to talk to you guys? Yes, I am. Well,
We
that's kind of
searched
cool
the
to play the
north,
quest
but
without
couldn't
knowing where
find
to
anyone
go.
who matched the description.
Well, that complicates things. The city folks say there's no sign of him either. We need to start looking further afield. But where are we gonna get the people?
What a coincidence.
Excuse me, sirs. Have you found out anything about my dad yet?
Ah, hey there, buddy. Dr. Baizhu. What brings you out this way?
The boy asked for our help, so we're here to join the search. Any new developments to update us on?
Oh, thank goodness. We were just discussing how we're running out of manpower. As for updates, I'm sorry to say that we've searched the surrounding area thoroughly, but didn't find anything.
The guards at the crossing up ahead said they hadn't seen anyone either, so we don't believe he was heading towards the Guili Plains. But it is possible that he was bound for Luhua Pool.
Luhua Pool? The
I don't
terrain
know
there
where
can
that
be
is.
tricky to navigate. Let's hope he hasn't run into any trouble.
We'll take care of it. Oh, look, Doggo. Ha, Doggo. Anyways.
You will? Oh, great. We can't thank you enough.
Sorry we weren't able to find your dad, buddy.
That's okay. Thank you for trying.
Her kid is very upbeat about the situation.
Dad! Dad, can you hear me?
Oh. Looks like we found someone.
Somebody over there! Oh no! It's... Hey, you! Stop! Don't go any further!
He ain't be okay.
Watch where you're going!
Is that Hutao? Huh.
Oh, dear customer, Wangsheng Funeral Parlor does appreciate your patronage, but you needn't hasten the inevitable. Are you alright?
I mean, I actually didn't expect Hutao to, like, help. Out of all the people.
Huh?
Dad!
Hey, Hutao!
That's not the thing to say in that situation, but yeah,
My,
fine.
who do we have here? It's the Traveler in Paimon, and
And one of the harbingers, yes.
my worst nightmare.
Yep. Sounds about right.
I see she still hasn't warmed to you.
Thank you, Director Who, for saving this man.
Dad, are you okay? Do you recognize me? It's me, Ayu.
Are you? Who am I?
Your name is Jia Liang, and you live just west of Qingse Village. You were supposed to come to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. Remember? Does that jog your memory?
Oh, my name is Jia Liang. Liyue Harbor. See the doctor? Yes, I'm Jia Liang, and I need to see the doctor. Wait, why do I need to see the doctor?
Oh, damn. I know some people who have, like, relatives with dementia, but I'm not sure if that's, like, comparable. It's really rough sometimes when they forget, like, everything.
Uh-oh. He seems in
I don't
really
know
bad
if
shape.
usually you can
We need
cure
to
that,
get
I
him
don't
back to
know.
Boo Boo Pharmacy right away.
I don't think shoving some herbs up his face won't will help that, so I don't know.
Sorry, Hutao. Gotta dash. Dinner's on us next time.
Hold on a second. You're not seriously thinking of taking him to Boo Boo Pharmacy in this state, are you?
Huh? Why not? What's the problem?
Come on, Baizhu. Don't tell me you haven't noticed it. Didn't your master teach you how to spot the signs? Why do I get the sense that you spotted them right away, but you're planning to use it for your own ends?
She's onto something. And I'm onto you.
Use what? What are you talking about? Paimon's lost.
There are traces of god remains in Jia Liang's system.
I assume that's not good.
Yes, but more importantly, they're on the verge of an outburst. If that happens, the consequences will be unthinkable.
Paimon's sorry. What?
God remains?
There's no need to worry, Director Who. I have methods of keeping them at bay.
I don't know, Baiju's just fishy.
It is the sworn duty of all who practice medicine to cure illnesses and save lives. What reason would I have to neglect a patient in need who is right there in front of me?
I don't know. There probably are some reasons.
Besides, it was my late master's dying wish to be able to save this patient in particular. Perhaps out of respect for him, you could give me a day's grace so that I have time to treat him?
Snake is cute, but snakes are a sign for snitches. That's very important to remember. Snake is a bad sign in context with whatever Baizhu is doing as well.
Now you're
Not a good
bringing
sign.
my great uncle into this? Baizhu, just what are you planning this time?
And I trust Hu Tao's intuition.
Merely to cure this man, nothing more. But of course, if you have any doubt as to my intentions, you are more than welcome to accompany me to Boo Boo Pharmacy and monitor my activities.
Oh, really? I thought I was persona non grata at Boo Boo
Ooh.
Pharmacy. You're being unusually generous today.
I kind of like. What I mean, why do you have to stop this? I kind of like this infighting right now. But yeah, we're here too high.
Okay, deal. We're not gonna solve anything by keeping Jia Liang here. I'm happy to do it your way, but only for my great uncle's sake and the travelers, of course.
You must be pleased you brought the traveler along. Otherwise, this would have been a much more vexing ordeal.
Well, time is of the essence. Let's get ourselves back to Boo Boo Pharmacy at once.
Sure. I don't know. I wonder if they're actually gonna make him more fishy this quest.
Blockages within the
I don't know.
cardiovascular system, reduced blood flow and energy circulation?
Like, I said it when we watched the demo, but every single time the game is gonna give me a chance to frame Baizhu as the Harbinger, I'm gonna do it. And so far, they've done a great job at making him look suspicious. So, I don't know. Game might actually be hinting at something.
I see. I suppose this must have caused the cognitive abnormalities.
Dr. Baizhu, how bad is it? Can you cure him?
Don't you worry. Baizhu's a really great doctor. He's sure to find a way. Isn't that right, Baizhu?
Don't say something like that, Paimon. That sucks. Don't ever say that to... Doesn't matter who, just don't.
Ayu, do
Don't
you
put
know
words
when
in
your
your
father
mouth.
first started displaying these symptoms?
I'm not sure. He's been like this for as long as I can remember. But it wasn't as bad as this when I was still little.
So it's been a long time indeed.
Is it like a grim outlook or...
No, I have a treatment plan in mind. We can start tonight.
Okay.
Come and see me again tomorrow morning. I promise that by then, Ayu will find his father healthy and lucid again.
Thank you, Dr. Baizhu. Thank you so much.
If you still have any misgivings, Director Hu, please feel free to hang around for as long as you wish.
What do you do as Hu Tao in that situation?
However, it would be best if you step outside this room. A doctor must be able to focus when treating a patient. Any distractions heighten the risk of complications.
I don't know, man. They're basically pushing Hu Tao to leave. That's
Yes,
just...
of course, absolutely. I'll just go and look at the flowers or something. But I will be back in an instant at the first sign that something's amiss.
She's probably gonna be like at the ceiling, looking down on them.
See you tomorrow, Baizhu and Chung Chung.
Bye for now, everyone.
Are you ready, Baizhu?
Dude.
Ready as I'll ever be. I'm used to it by now. Come on, let's get started.
Harbinger. Oh, he's in touch with some god stuff. What is he doing? Like,
Well, that
of course.
ends well, huh?
Are they gonna do a reveal now, or?
You know, Paimon's kind of curious after hearing Baizhu mention those people from his past. What do you think they were like?
You mean his master?
Yeah, you must be curious too, right? Let's go see what we can find out while Baizhu's busy treating Ayu's dad.
Yeah, let's dig in some Fatui files. Maybe that should help. Buys I like that one. She's.
While I'm idling time on admiring the scenery, the spectacled snake-bedecked docs doing surgery.
I love the way she speaks. But I kind of would love if she would have like a telescope or something just staring at the building.
Hello, you busy bees, and what do you have to discuss with the funeral director today?
Just some general questions.
Actually, don't tell me. Let me guess. From the looks on your faces, you've got some questions for me.
What I guess, I just told you. Anyways.
Guilty as charged. So, we were just a little curious about Baizhu's master. What was he like? Oh, and also, how come you and Baizhu could tell so quickly that Jialiang had god remains in his system?
Both good questions, and also why are you so suspicious of Baizhu? Want to see her reasoning.
Huh? I thought I told you once before. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was first founded to fight back against the vengeful wrath of gods defeated in war.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Well, it is a dusty old tale by this point. Long story short, in the ancient world, dead gods were acting up, so our ancestors started purifying the air and burning the bodies of the deceased to guard the border between life and death. These days, we don't deal with the wrath of the gods anymore, but all the relevant know-how is still passed down to each generation, so we can identify gods' remains when we see them.
Okay, Paimon gets it now. Wait, so how did Baizhu learn to spot them?
Almost certainly from his master, who was also my great-uncle. Baizhu's master was my grandpa's younger brother, a former deputy director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Wow, fancy that! Huh. So, if he was from Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, how did he end up as Baizhu's master?
According to my grandpa, he and my great-uncle once went traveling together when they were young. They ended up at Chenyu Vale, where they met a pharmacist. That pharmacist must have cast some sort of spell on my great-uncle, because after that encounter, he suddenly announced he wanted to leave the family business and go practice medicine instead. My grandpa had a huge argument with him, but he couldn't convince him to stay. So my grandpa inherited the funeral parlor, while my great-uncle stayed in Chenyu Vale to practice medicine. They never spoke to each other again.
I mean, it's weird, but is there really a reason to make like to stop talking to each other completely? I don't feel like it is.
Funeral director to doctor is a pretty big career change. Kinda hard to imagine. But why did it drive a wedge between them for the rest of their lives? That seems a bit extreme.
True.
If he had just become a regular doctor, there would have been no issue. After all, the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor wasn't unlike a regular doctor's clinic in the early days. But according to my grandpa, the pharmacist they met had a very ominous aura about him.
Well, would you say that aura was like, I don't know, harbinger-like?
And on top of that, the kind of medicine practiced in the Chenyu Vale tradition goes against the natural order of things.
In what way?
Don't know. My grandpa didn't know the specifics. And you've seen how wary Baizhu is around me. He'd never tell me anything. But even that says to me that he definitely has something to hide.
Of course, he's a doctor. He always has something to hide.
One thing I do know about Baizhu is that he's obsessed with the idea of immortality. But whether that has anything to do with what he's hiding is hard to say.
Mortality, huh?
Anyway, so I will be sticking around here for now to keep a close eye on the situation. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally figure out what he's up to.
What they say, it's a new day! Let's go back to Boo Boo Pharmacy and check out how Jialiang is doing.
Is he doing good? What did you do, Baizhu? Did you curse him? Did you put some harbinger magic on him? What did you do?
Oh, are you?
Bless you.
Dad, you remember me!
Yes, I remember now. Oh, Ayu, I'm so
Bless you.
sorry. You must have been worried sick. Has your mom shown up yet? She's been gone for a while, hasn't she?
Don't worry, Dad. I got the Adventurers Guild to help us look for her. And Dr. Baizhu's gonna help too. Right now, all you need to do is concentrate on getting better.
Great. That's wonderful. I can't thank you enough, Dr. Baizhu.
What
My
did he
pleasure,
do though?
really. It's the least I can do to honor my late master's dying wish. If anything, I should be apologizing to you for not making the time to visit in all these years.
Not at all, Dr. Baizhu. It's only because Jiang Li... What was her reason again?
You're still in the early stages of recovery, so you'll need to take it easy for a while. Take it
I suggest you
Slow,
stay
sorry.
at Boo Boo Pharmacy and rest for at least the next few days.
Do you think he gave him a delusion? I didn't see it.
Director
Maybe he has
Hu,
one on his
do
body.
you
I
have
don't
any
think so.
further reservations about Jia
be
Liang's
possible, though.
condition?
That would be possible.
It seems like the evil presence is gone after all. You really did manage to suppress it, huh? But how did you accomplish this in a single night?
That would be a trade secret, I'm afraid. If that gives you any cause for concern, you may continue to monitor Jia Liang for as long as you wish.
Can we get Yelan on you? I think that would be probably the best thing we could do.
Though I regret to say that Boo Boo Pharmacy cannot offer to reimburse Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor for any revenue lost in the meantime.
Of course.
Oh, come on, Baizhu. I'm not that unreasonable.
Ah,
Baizhu looks a bit worse for wear. Did he consume the evil... Oh, he might have, like, taken the god remains for himself, maybe? I don't know. Something's wrong for sure.
I've been stuck indoors for too long. Baizhu, take me outside for some air, or I'm going to suffocate.
You are literally outside.
yes, of course.
Like,
Everyone, please excuse
basically.
Jiang Sheng and myself for a moment.
They're basically outside. What do you mean, snake boy? Or girl? I don't know.
Suffering now, are we? Did you seriously expect to cover it up just by putting on a brave face and ignoring it? If it weren't for my quick thinking, they'd have all seen the sorry state you're in by now. But in any case, why must you keep this a secret from everybody? You should at least share your secret with one person you trust.
Who's there?
He's good. Hi.
Why did you follow us here?
Well, you looked a bit... well, sick.
Oh, it's nothing. I just needed to get some air.
Yeah, sure.
What did I just say about putting on a brave face? Traveler, Paimon, the truth is, Baizhu did not cure Jialiang's illness. Instead, he transferred some of his own life force to his patient to temporarily subdue the poison in his system.
Wait, that's actually genius. Man, this guy is a perfect doctor. He's not gonna cure him. He's just gonna make his symptoms disappear for a while, so he has to come back. What a genius. Anyways, what the fuck are you doing with your life force?
Baizhu, can you please explain all of this?
My predecessors in medicine forged a contract with Changsheng. Every successor to this contract is able to use Changsheng's secret art to treat patients. I believe the irregularities with Jia Liang's heart meridian were likely caused by a poison concocted using god remains as a key ingredient. The poison has not been purged from Jia Liang's system. Rather, I infused him with some of my own life force, using Changsheng as the delivery medium. This will suppress the poison's effects for a limited time.
The true doctor. Okay, I don't want to talk shit on doctors. I'm glad they exist, but especially commercialized pharmacies. That's what he's doing right now. I feel like.
Chang? You can do that? Huh. Paimon always thought you were just Baizhu's strange choice of a necklace.
Chang kissed him. I'm not sure if you could call that a kiss.
Hey, I'll have you know that I commanded the respect of even the adepti back in Chenyu Vale. If anything, he is my mannequin.
Told ya, he's her hostage. If he misbehaves, she's just gonna choke.
I was treating patients with Baiju's master's master long before he ever set eyes on his first medical text. Whoa. Guess you shouldn't judge a snake by its skin.
Please, that's enough.
So, basically, Baizhu is pretty much useless without a snake. Okay, fine. Why doesn't the snake just take, like, over the pharmacy? That would make more sense. But yeah, you're still not really looking good.
Wait a sec. Huto was saying that the branch of medicine you studied uses some pretty dubious methods. So, when you transfer your life force, does that mean you're actually damaging your own body?
Hardly. Changsheng helps to keep my chi in balance, so there is no great harm done.
Still, Baiju's life force is not unlimited. We must find a way to neutralize the poison in Jialiang's body. And soon. Traveler, Paimon, would you lend this dummy a hand? He needs someone checking up on him, or he'll exhaust himself trying to accomplish everything on his own.
I don't mind keeping tabs on him anyway, so I'm fine. Let us help you for no other reason than helping you.
Baizhu,
For sure.
don't you think you should seize this opportunity? You cannot expect to hide this from everyone for your entire life. Time will see that all secrets surface eventually.
Entire life. Thank you, Traveler and Paimon.
Huh. Paimon doesn't think we've seen this side of you. But there's no need to thank us. You've helped us out before.
So, what's the plan now?
The poison in Jialiang's system must have accumulated over a prolonged period. I think I should pay a visit to their family home and look for clues as to how he might have been exposed to it.
And you know where he lives?
Yes. I asked Ayu this morning
Bless you.
before you arrived. He told me that his family lives in a secluded spot to the west of Qingsa village. Let's head there together once I've asked Gui and Chi-Chi to look after the pharmacy.
Okay.
As well as investigating Jialiang's exposure to the poison, we should also keep an eye out for Ayu's missing
Bless
mother,
you.
my fellow disciple, Jiangli.
She's finally gone. She's gone for good now.
Oh no, you talked
right?
about Hu Tao, right?
Right?
Poor Chi-Chi.
Whoa! There's a house all the way out here? Huh. It's so well hidden, Paimon's never noticed it before.
Yeah, that's a terrible place to build a house.
Nor have I. And I've hosted clinics at Qingsa village many times in the past. If you ask me, Jiangli was trying to remain unnoticed.
Or it was just the cheapest plot because it must have been.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. We meant to ask earlier, but it slipped our minds in the rush to get here. Could you tell us more about Jiangli? You said she was your fellow disciple, right?
She was indeed. We studied medicine together under the same master near Chenyu Vale. She is several years older than I and also began her travels far earlier than me. As a result, the time I spent studying alongside her was rather short.
Supposedly, she met an herb gatherer sometime during her travels and decided to settle down with him. That must have been Jialiang. Wait, Changsheng, are you saying neither of you had actually met Jialiang or Ayu before all
Bless
of
you.
this?
Jiang Li did occasionally come back to Chenyu Vale to see our master, but for whatever reason, she hardly ever talked about her family. The last time she visited us, she and Master had some sort of quarrel. We never heard from her after that. It almost seemed as if she'd gone into hiding.
Quarrel? What happened? I don't know. I did not witness the argument myself.
Nor did Master ever explain it to me. All he would say is that should I ever encounter Jiang Li or her family in the future, I should do everything in my power to help them.
Well, that's ominous to say.
Oh, so that's why you went to such extreme lengths to help Jialiang.
No. Even if my master had never said anything, it would still be my duty as a doctor to help him. My decision would have remained the same.
Paimon never knew you were so selfless, Baizhu. Paimon always had you down as the sneaky, scheming type. Sorry.
Nah, I'm still holding on to that thought. Nope.
So
Won't
a
change
few
that.
words from me is enough to dispel all your suspicions?
Nope.
Hmm?
Nope.
You ought not be quite so quick to relax your guard, Paimon. Sometimes even the good guys have their own private agenda.
And the bad guys as well.
What the... Okay, that was the most suspicious sounding thing you've ever said.
Let's leave the idle chatter there for now. Jiang Li has lived in this house for many years. There must be something here that can shed a little light on this whole situation. Let's split up, but if anyone finds anything, we'll examine it together.
Okay. You know, they're playing so much with him being suspicious. He's probably not gonna be the Harbinger. But still, I'm still gonna believe it. Several faint marks can be seen on the pillar. Maybe it was used to record Ayu, bless you, Lumine, heights as he grew. Possible. There's some faded writing near the bottom of the mark. The more quickly Ayu grows up, the sooner we can leave. Bless you. Judging by the number of marks on the pillar, the family has led a secluded existence here for many years. Why does Ayu, bless me, as height matter for going somewhere? That's strange. Where are you going, Baizhu? Baizhu even walks sussily. Sussily is that's a nice word. I like that. The firewood is neatly stacked, and the logs were cut with great power and precision. Oh, great! Whoever chopped the firewood must have been physically fit. Yeah, that's a. I don't know. Have you ever chopped firewood? You don't chop firewood with this length of a block. Like, good luck doing that. Some logs at the bottom of the pile have begun to rot. It must have been a while since new wood was added to the pile. Also, like, who the hell chops wood this way? You can't use it. What is the point? You miss Italian reading. Do I need to whip out my accents again? I don't even know how I did Italian anymore. You need to do this, and then some roof tiles broke. Mom and I tried to get up there and take a look, but did not manage. Luckily, Dad was able to fix it in no time. The dinner table was a bit wobbly today when we sat down to eat. Dad tried to fix it, but ended up breaking the legs of the table by accident. Mamma mia. Dad's forgetting things again. I'll have to write it all down for now and read it back to him when he's feeling better, mamma mia. Mario, basta.
Traveler, Paimon, come quick!
Sorry for Italians.
What is this?
That looks not ominous at all.
Changsheng and I found a hidden compartment. This is what was hidden inside.
God remains. Could it be?
You sense it too? You're right. This is a poison concocted using god remains. Is it breathing? Paimon's not seeing things, is she?
No, your eyes do not deceive you. I do believe the poison in this bottle is alive.
Define alive.
Some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in The Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother and minor loads, capable of sustaining a connection over vast distances.
Okay, that's... I mean, I was about to say, like, most toxins that are basically just diseases would be considered alive, right? But that's not what I thought. And hey, Proxy, and yes, you're late. How dare you come 1 hour and 30 minutes late to the class? What is wrong with you? I hope you're ready for detention later.
If it's a concoction of this
Gonna
kind
take you to
we're
her
dealing
principal.
with, then both the poison in Jialiang's system and this one here are likely minor loads. Offshoots, essentially.
Offshoots? So, the main body is somewhere else?
Correct. Whoever is administering the poison can manipulate the source to indirectly control the poisoned individual's behavior and even cognition. Similarly, the poisoned individual will hear, to a varying extent, the call of the source.
So we're gonna use the infected person to lead us there? Is that what you're saying?
Call of the... Wait. So, back when Jialiang ran off, maybe that explains where he was heading.
Yeah, that makes sense. He was going back to Xing. Yeah, well, we don't really know that, but looked like he was going to Xing's village.
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god remains used as the poison's key ingredient, the mother load.
I don't like what that sounds like anyway.
This is getting crazier and crazier. What kind of person would do all this just to poison Jialiang? Hey, why has everyone gone quiet all of a sudden? Since this poison was carefully hidden away in a secret compartment, the one who concocted it is likely a resident of the house.
It was the kid.
You mean Jialiang? Why would he poison himself?
Why would you assume that?
Think a little harder, Paimon. Someone else who lives here, and who might have expertise in crafting drugs.
Paimon, why? What is wrong with Paimon's brain? Must have been someone in the house. Oh, see me, he poisoned himself. No, Paimon, what the hell?
Huh? So you're saying... it was Jiang Li?
Possibly, but I would say sneeze.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense either. Why would she poison her own husband?
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiang Li does not strike me as the kind of person who would do such a thing.
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entirety of Liyue have the ability to concoct a poison from god remains?
It's too early to draw any conclusions. We should question Jialiang about it once he has made more progress in his recovery.
Alright. Do you know a method to neutralize it?
Yes. According to the origins and symptoms of diseases, the minor loads will disappear if the mother load is purged. So if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, the poison will leave Jialiang's system without the need for any further treatment.
Yeah, that seems to make absolute sense.
Do you know anything about god remains in Qingsa village?
No?
Even the history books have no record of this. The only ones who'll know anything are those old fogies who have been hanging around here since the beginning of time. Didn't you used to be on good terms with the adeptal, though? You sure they didn't tell you anything about this? Well,
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her prime.
Of course.
These days, she has to
Sounds like
enter
an
a
excuse to
contract with
me.
a mortal and share their life force just to sustain her own life. I fear that such ancient events are long gone from her memory by now.
That sounds mighty convenient to be Wait, no, that sounds mighty convenient. No, does it? Sounds mighty inconvenient. But it sounds convenient for her to cause that inconvenience. There we go.
whoa, what? After a contract? Share life force? Sounds like some pretty spooky sorcery if you ask Paimon. Hey, plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with a powerful being like me.
You're a snake. I can take like a knife and a stone. You know what happens next.
With my assistance in rebalancing your chi, not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger, healthier, and able to eat whatever you like with no risk of upsetting
count me
your
in.
stomach.
Count me in.
Stronger and healthier? Wow, that's amazing!
Animal cruelty, hello? I mean, how to kill a snake? I'm sorry. It's just one way.
Baizhu, maybe when you retire, you can let Paimon sign a contract with Changsheng for a few days.
Okay, Paimon.
Unfortunately, Changsheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the host's temperament. None of her hosts have ever been exempted from these rules. I fear that I will be unable to accommodate your wishes, Paimon.
Temperament? Hey! What are you trying to say? Did you just subtly insult Paimon to her face?
Mm-hmm. Strange. Baizhu has a weak constitution. And didn't his master pass out at an early age?
Ugh! Paimon's mad! You're getting ugly nicknames, both of you!
Oh, yes,
Baizhu, you're Mannequin Man! Changsheng, you're just a pain in the neck!
I kind of like that one. I mean, Mannequin Man, meh. Pain in the neck is kind of cool.
This is exactly why your natural temperament makes you woefully unsuited to being my host.
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at hand. Is there any way at all for us to seek counsel from the adepti about this?
With how antisocial they are, if it were up to them, they'd go their whole lives without showing their faces to the common folk.
Actually, you know, I have someone I can call.
What?
Seems you're as well connected as they say, traveler. We are truly fortunate to have you on our side.
Oh, if you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honors.
I mean, we got a few options actually, right? We got Cloud Retainer, which we, I guess, can contact through, I guess, a few steps. We could try to find Zhao. Zhongli, in theory, can probably also connect us with Mountain Shaper. We basically have contact with all of the adepti. It's not hard for us to get, like, to them. But I'm probably thinking of Zhao right now. Yep, I'm right. Because we can just call for him. Zhao, are you there? Oh, yes, of course he is.
You called?
Hey, what up, bro?
Gets Paimon every time. Are all adepti in the habit of materializing out of thin air like this?
No, actually, it's just a Zhao thing, now that I think about it.
Well, this is unexpected.
Huh? It's you.
Baizhu of Boo Boo Pharmacy. I do believe I've had the pleasure before. The Lantern Rite, when we met briefly, I was unaware of your true identity. I must apologize for the discourtesy.
Huh? You two already know each other?
Our paths have crossed once before.
Meaning?
I sense the presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me?
Well, I actually wanted to ask you about dead gods, which is a weird topic, but you know, kind of a thing between us, so weird topics come up quite often. Should be fine. You tell Zhao everything that happened.
So someone has been concocting demonic poison. Too often, fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. It is lamentable. I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundations of Qingce village. A vile monster known as the Che once wrought havoc over this land, before it was subdued by Rex Lapis.
It's kind of weird to me that they don't put like the proper notation on on the Chinese letters. Like, how are we, with the English version, supposed to differentiate between all of the sounds when they don't even put like the pronunciation hints in there? Sorry, but that just annoys me.
The land was
'Cause I hate
finally
mispronouncing
cleansed of
things.
poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. Jinxa Village was founded some time after that. The seal is still mostly intact. If the Cha is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground. However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. You will need to investigate further to identify the location of the leak.
I see, but also why do we need to do this? Isn't this like your job?
I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary. But when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. If that happens, be sure to call my name again. Nothing. I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make, but immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
I shall treasure your words of instruction, Master Adeptus.
Farewell.
Bye.
What a strange Adeptus. Rather different from the way I remember them.
The Adeptus in my old days were different than they are nowadays. I think they are really lackluster nowadays.
That's how you sound, Changsheng.
That's Xiao for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some concrete info to go off of.
If the god remains are leaking from underground, Jiangli must be paying a visit to a subterranean cave on her herb-gathering trips. If we can find the cave...
Master, there's a problem.
Did you run all the way here from Leah? Good on ya.
Gui? Did you run all the way from Boo Boo Pharmacy?
What happened? Don't panic. Just catch your breath and tell me everything.
It's Jiaoliang. He was fine one minute, and then he suddenly took a turn for the worse.
Already? How?
I'm telling you, Sneeze is behind all of this. Possible.
Based on past experience, he should have been fine for the next 3 days at least.
It seems that my worst fears have been confirmed. Everyone, back to Boo Boo Pharmacy now.
Yes, sir. Go on the boo-boo train. We're riding home.
Dad, what's wrong? Dad?
Don't be scared. Dr. Baizhu will be back soon.
How is he doing?
How fast did we run back here? Doesn't it take like multiple days to go from Sumeru to Leah to Mondstadt? How on earth are we able to travel so fast?
Dr. Baizhu, you're back! My dad was doing fine earlier, but then he suddenly started coughing up blood. Now he can't even get a full word out anymore.
When Gui left, he was still conscious. But now...
Gui, please take Jiaoliang to the back room and prepare for treatment.
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will cure your father.
Does he give him more life?
Changsheng's secret art again, is he?
Doesn't sound like a good thing to do.
No other way to save Jiaoliang?
Oh, please don't worry. Dr. Baizhu will find a way.
But...
Do we trust Sneeze? I feel like Sneeze wouldn't need to be so sad about it if he poisoned him. There's still the option of him doing it on accident. Maybe Sneeze that knocked the poison into, I don't know, his soup? Anyways, time to find a bush.
How are you feeling, Dad? Are you still hurting anywhere? You're not gonna suddenly collapse again, are you?
He probably will.
Much better, Ayu.
Bless you.
I'm feeling much better. In fact, I can't explain it, but somehow I feel even better than usual. Wait, where's Dr. Baizhu? I still haven't had a chance to thank him. Seems he moved me here before I came to.
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Okay, so he used his life energy again?
Really? Well, he must be tired from treating me for 2 nights in a row. I don't know how I can begin to repay him for saving my life. I'll have to discuss it properly with Jiang Li once we find her. Speaking of which, has there been any word of her whereabouts yet?
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'll go check with them again in a bit.
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jialiang. I strongly suggest that you stay and rest at Boo Boo Pharmacy for now. I can accompany IU to the Adventurers Guild.
Bless you.
I suppose you're right. I'll have to rely on you this time. Though, on the bright side, this means I can thank Dr. Baizhu in person once he's finished resting.
Traveler, Baizhu hasn't shown his face ever since he went in to treat Jialiang again. Do you think he...
Yeah, we should probably check on him.
Huh? Hey, wait up!
Or just run, I guess.
Huh?
You're finally awake? That was far too risky, even with me here to help you balance your chi.
There was no time. I had no other choice. In any case, it was not completely without benefit to myself. I managed to learn something. Jiang Li's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations that I can learn from. Alas, if only there wasn't a catch.
That you can learn from. How do you learn from the what are you planning?
So, how much longer do you think Baizhu's gonna nap for? They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep. Shall we at least go and show our faces?
All right.
He's great at seeming to be the good guy, but then making himself seem more suspicious.
There's no way he could have just... Who's talking behind our backs again? Ah! Baizhu! Changsheng!
You both good?
Of course. There's no need to be concerned. I merely had to transfer a rather large amount of life force on this occasion. But, with Changsheng's help, I will recover in time.
He sounds out of breath.
Jialiang seemed
Okay.
fine yesterday. Why did he need more life-saving treatment again so soon?
I made an error in my initial diagnosis. Jialiang is in fact suffering from more than one ailment. And as a result, his life force depleted at a greater rate than I had anticipated.
What? You mean, even if you got all the poison out of him, he'd still be sick?
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang's system is there precisely because it is being used to manage his underlying medical condition. Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his heart meridian. Left untreated, it puts the patient at risk of coughing up blood and fainting, and in the longer term, causes irreversible damage to the internal organs.
So, the poison suppresses to his heart condition?
Though it was created from god remains, this formula is not a poison in Jialiang's case. Rather, it's his medication.
Oh, that's,
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died a long time ago.
So he might have... Paimon... Oh god, was Paimon right? Did Paimon really... Did he really poison himself, or did his wife administer it to him?
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, and the poison accumulated in his system, it began to impact his cognition. Moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine, the more resistant his body became to it. Jiang Li had to concoct ever greater quantities to ensure its continued efficacy.
That explains why Ayu said his
Bless you.
dad has been getting worse, and why his mom went off to gather herbs.
I'm still not sure if Paimon Big Brain Dad. It might have still been his wife, but I don't know.
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I shudder to think how many times Jiang Li has exposed herself to them. I fear that the situation is just as that adeptus described. In an effort to save Jia Liang's life, Jiang Li has abandoned all regard for her own safety.
I mean, she kinda also completely abandoned his safety, considering he nearly jumped off a cliff, but different topic.
I never suspected that even Jiang Li would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. Perhaps this is the inevitable course of fate. To sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order to do the impossible, whatever the cost may be.
What is Lumine thinking about? She looks concerned about fate.
Well, I think that it's too early to say with any certainty what fate has in mind. In any case, I have stabilized Jia Liang's condition for now, so our immediate priority should be to get ourselves back to Qingsa village and find out where Jiang Li is. Her regular exposure to God remains over such a long period will have been catastrophic for her health. And given that she's already been missing for several days, I am fearing the worst.
Well, you heard it.
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baizhu.
It's Jiao Liang! Don't tell Paimon you overheard everything already.
I don't know, that's... Even if he wouldn't have heard anything, that alone would have made him really suspicious.
Dr. Baizhu, please let me come with you. You've already done so much for my family. I can no longer just sit here and watch while you put yourself at risk for Jiang Li's sake. After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I know I won't be of much help in battle, but at the very least, I can show you the way.
I just realized that his name is Jia Liang, and her name is Jiang Li, right? They just kind of flipped syllables, right? Just took that, put it in the bag. Interesting.
I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time she goes to gather her herbs. I'm sure I'll remember. I have to remember.
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood pressure and stress levels will rise, putting further pressure on your heart.
No! We're out of time! We have to go now. Right now. Before I forget everything again.
He's
This
not
trip will
wrong.
be extremely dangerous, and there is a very real possibility that you will not return from it. Are you sure you're prepared for that?
I never expected to live this long in the first place. My death is already long overdue. So why should I fear it? There's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Why is everyone eavesdropping on everyone? Holy crap, what's happening?
Very well.
That's Inception.
Then follow me.
Eavesdrop Inception. At least Chi-Chi's not eavesdropping. It's a start.
Dr. Baizhu? Are you heading out again?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please prepare a dose of the usual formula? Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen and 1 dose each of the ingredients from the 3rd and 5th compartments of my medicine cabinet. I hope it works.
Dr. Baizhu? Do you mean...
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this time. You don't want to burn yourself again.
Yikes.
Okay.
That strange feeling is back. It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if something inside me is trying to guide me somewhere.
The Motherlode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're getting closer to the source, or because the leakage of Che blood is growing more severe? Jialiang, can you sense which direction the source is in?
I think it's this way.
Okay. That's exactly where we came from, but... yeah. Don't hesitate telling us earlier.
I'm sure of it.
He's running like... I don't know.
I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way.
He's running as if he has cramps or something.
This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
There is an inauspicious presence here. Even I can sense it.
I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay? Maybe you should rest here while we continue the search.
No, I have to keep going. Jiangli is still waiting for me.
Yeah, okay. I was just checking again with the name thing. I'm absolutely right.
Then let's hurry.
Okay, let's go.
This place gives Paimon the creeps. Who knows what we're gonna find up ahead?
Probably a closed gate.
The digging marks here appear amateur and rather old. I suspect it is a thieves' tunnel. A thieves' tunnel? Paimon has heard rumors about treasure around these parts before. Maybe it was the treasure hoarders that dug this tunnel.
Judging by the tools they left behind, it's certainly a possibility. But
It's a
why
darn
did they
big tunnel
abandon
to
this
build.
place without even stopping to pack up their tools?
I remember now. She took me here once and told me that she'd found a way to save me in this cave. But she said that the method would cause me to... curses! Why can't I remember what she said?
You know what that kind of reminds me of? I think it's Arcane episode 8, when they infused a shimmer into Jinx to keep her alive. Kind of reminds me of that. We got this purple kind of toxic, poisonous kind of stuff that can also cure you. Kind of gives me those vibes right now.
Easy, Jialiang. Come on, let's keep going.
But this dude got no powers. Yeah, he's lame. He's Jinx and lame. He really got like the worst attributes of both.
Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves at home.
Well, looks like it's fresh. I don't see dust. I don't think this was left by the treasure hoarders either.
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster-repelling incense.
A monster repelling incense? You sure? 'Cause we did run into that group of monsters just now.
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters we fought just now were enticed here by some entity deeper inside the cave. No doubt an encounter with the very same entity was what prompted the treasure hoarders to flee and abandon their designs on this cave. After them, Jiang Li was the next person to discover this place and what lies inside. But to her, it presented an opportunity to save Jia Liang's life, albeit as a last resort.
That's right. This sensor, it belongs to Jiang Li. Yes, this was the place. This is where I told Jiang Li to give me the poison.
He just coughed.
Let's
Chill,
keep going.
chill.
I can feel it. She
He can
is right
feel
below
it
us,
coming
waiting for
in
me.
the air tonight. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I think he's been waiting for this moment for all his life. How do I open the gate? Open the gate! Thank you. Is that the monster or is the...
Jiang Li!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
Where's
The
her
god
though?
remains must have lured them here. Watch my back.
I just see the monster, but where's her? Where's the her she's talking
There
about?
is no escape. Ah!
Dr. Baizhu, how serious is it? Is she...
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition, much as the poison in your system did to you.
That stuff looks cool. Probably super toxic, but that looks cool.
If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her life, I fear that she may never wake up again.
Then, what are we waiting for? Let's destroy the remains right away!
How?
It's not as simple as that. Don't you remember what Baizhu said? The poison within Jialiang's body is inextricably linked to the god remains here.
And it will kill him if he doesn't have the poison in him
If
anymore.
the source is purged, the poison in his system will stop having any effect.
I mean, she's right. But what's worth more? A mother that is perfectly healthy without that poison, or a father that is either poisoned and unhealthy because of the poison, or having like heart problems if we remove the poison. So I personally would say that it's probably better to just remove it. Seems like an easy equation.
The poison within Jialiang's body is keeping his heart condition under control. So, if it stops working... Oh no. Are you saying...
We have to do a like, we're gonna sacrifice one either way, and the other one is dying earlier. I think, even though it sucks, there's just one right
Indeed.
decision.
If the god remains here are purged, then your life will come to an end.
I wondered when this day might come.
Wait! But we've all been working our butts off to save Jialiang's life! After all that, we can't just give up on him!
It's how it goes sometimes.
Baizhu, you're a great doctor! Surely you gotta know of some other way we can save him, right?
Yeah, why don't you have medicine for heart disease?
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiang Li, maybe if we put our heads together, we can think of something?
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you, right up until the moment when she lost consciousness. Maybe it's her greatest wish that you will continue to take it and live.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Of course she would want that, but let's think of Sneeze for a second. He would want a mother. Well, let's put it that way. He would preferably have a mother and a father. But it's probably better for him to have a healthy mother compared to a dead mother and a pretty much, I don't know, could you call him brain dead? He's kind of not even available for him if we keep him alive. We have to pick one. And the mother is kind of the only thing that the kid has, so I don't know, for me it's an easy choice. No one wants to decide the life of someone. Or, like, I wouldn't say, hey, you're gonna have to die, but I think it should be pretty obvious to him too, so I think he's gonna make that decision.
Baizhu, give it to me straight. How long does Jiangli have?
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days. But if I were to treat her using a secret art...
Dude, you need to stop.
But what would be the point of that? Dr. Baizhu, I'm all too aware of the dangers of god remains. You are not the first to mention it to me. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would Jiangli have to keep risking her life to make my medicine for me, but I would have to live with the looming threat of these remains breaking out and wreaking havoc not just upon me, but my entire family.
Yeah, I think he knows what the right choice is. He said it before, his time is overdue. So...
I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago. The fact that I've been around to see how you grow up is already a great blessing from Rex Lapis. If my choice can bring Jiangli back, then even if I die...
Jialiang.
The only proper choice here, and... yeah.
After cheating death for so long, it seems I've grown somewhat addicted to life. Traveler, Dr. Baizhu, could I have another minute with my wife? I just want to have one final moment together.
Absolutely.
Just a...
Take the moment, take all your time.
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that I won't be able to repay your kindness in this life.
Jialiang. Baizhu, Changsheng. Is there really nothing else you can do?
I am sure that over the years, Jiangli will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind. As for less conventional methods, I have little expertise besides Changsheng's secret art.
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. If it were so easy to combat the natural processes of aging and death, Jiangli would not have had to resort to unnatural methods.
What a crazy situation! Jiangli risked it all to save Jialiang's life, and now Jialiang has to sacrifice himself to save Jiangli! What's the point of it all?
Well, all we can do is honor Jiangliang's decision and bear witness with it. It's his choice. And it's the right one. Not...
I've seen many final farewells in my time, but I can never get used to it.
In the human realm, all things must come to an end. Is it not a fitting end to die for a worthy cause? At least, that's what generations of masters before you have always believed.
Snake, sorry, but you have like no talk in this matter. You are, from what I know, just undying. So, you can't understand.
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would willingly sacrifice themselves for others, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserving of death.
I mean, she sacrificed herself for him, and now he's sacrificing himself for her. It's kinda balanced.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old enough to help you gather herbs, it would be time for me to go. If you could only see him now. He took me all the way to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor, and he even got the Adventurers Guild to search for you. So, I know that you'll both be okay without me. I've said my goodbyes. My time has come. Do what you must.
As you wish.
How do you... well, I guess that's a mighty convenient thing for you to know.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become little more than a shadow of your true self.
I'll take it. At the very least, it will allow me to stay with you and watch how you grow up.
Mom, something's really wrong with Dad.
Don't fret, Ayu. I will gather some medicinal herbs right away. I promise you, nothing will happen to our family.
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live, the tighter we cling to what we have.
Is that actually true?
Oh, how I would love to hear your voice one last time.
Jialiang! Jialiang! Jialiang!
Wait,
Jialiang!
for real?
Dad, are you awake?
What did he do?
Jiangli, are you? Didn't I... Huh? What are these?
Oh, Chi-Chi magic. That kind of looks like...
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If so, could you describe it to me in detail?
Yeah, Maple, I have the same question.
Dr. Baizhu, I thought that I was going to...
Die? You did indeed. As things stand now, you're more akin to a zombie than a human.
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and death.
He seems to be normal, right? Why isn't he like Chi-Chi, this somewhat brain-dead person? Like, I don't know, it sounds bad, but Chi-Chi's very lethargic, so why is he normal?
Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely. Whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years, I'm as interested as you to find out. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace. I hope that Director Hu finds this arrangement to be a satisfactory one.
There you go, Maple. I'm not sure which quest that was. Where I said I'm kind of sad that they didn't kill the character. But sometimes it's just better to let someone die and settle. When you're at a point where it's at some point it's just let it get it over with. I would be fine with them bringing it back. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to criticize that again. I would be fine with them bringing him back if you were like Chi-Chi, like more or less brain dead. So to a point where it's kind of like, was it worth it bringing him back? Or they should have just let him die. I know for the character it's proxy. I like for sure, this is how a good story should end. No question about it. This is how you would want a happy ending. What I'm saying is, not every ending should be the absolute happiest it could be, because it takes away all the stakes in a situation. Most of the stories that we humans have are usually, like, life and death is a big part of it. And when you take the stakes out of life or death, then what kind of stakes do you even have anymore? There's not a lot of things you can even lose. And it kind of takes away from the drama, I personally think. Is it the best thing that could have happened to that family? Yes, absolutely. And I'm glad that this virtual family is not torn apart. From a storytelling perspective, is it memorable because they revived him again? I don't know.
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that behind my back.
Of course we want goodbyes. Of course we want the best ending for our lives, but for story, I think it's just... I just wanna have like a big separation here real quick. I wanna make that really clear. Real life and stories don't have to follow the same rules. I can't be as happy for like a virtual family magically being able to be like patched together. That's the problem here. Would I ever want to have someone suffer like that? No, of course not. I'm super sorry for you. But yeah, it's just the writing that annoys me here. I'm sorry. In real life it would have been nice. Like, no question. if this were possible in real life, then yes, do that. But especially for this world, like, if we know Baizhu can basically just put them together no matter what happens, then I don't know what's the stake with us losing friends. Can't we just put someone's now able to put Senora back together, right? That's basically what you can draw from that as a conclusion. Characters dying is like something really like it's a... It sounds bad. It's a highlight of a story. Yeah, like we could bring Tepe back, we could bring Signora back, even though Signora was bad, obviously. We could, well, I guess for Rue and his family it's too late. Like all of those characters that died, if the deaths are meaningless in the sense that we can just bring them back, then we lose the stakes. And I really don't like that Genshin does it over and over again, that we bring people back from death. Like, Baizhu was pretty sure that he could bring him back. Then why didn't he just tell it? Let's imagine for a second Baizhu just said, hey, I have a thing, and maybe there's a 20% chance that it works. That I can resurrect you after you give up that medicine. That will save your wife, but you still have a chance to come back. Sure, it wouldn't be this dramatic, hey, I have to say goodbye, but it would make sense. And I'm sorry. Just, the writing bothers me. I'm sorry.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jia Liang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death and the perpetual cycle of yin and yang.
Yep, all the build-up was basically unnecessary, because he could have just told him, hey, I have a theory that I can probably bring you back to life. And for him, it would have been an easy decision at that point. No tears, no, I need to say goodbye because I'm gonna come back. But the build-up was unnecessary.
All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save them.
He even went out of his way to explain that he doesn't have a way to save his wife if he keeps drinking the poison. Like, at least at that point he should have told, hey, I don't have a thing for your wife, but I have a thing for you. Why didn't he? It annoys me.
And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance. After all, did you not tell Jia Liang to show us the way before we set off for Qingce village?
Oops, and I'm busted.
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiangli in time.
So was Hu Tao listening to us? I mean, I knew that. Lumine didn't, though.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me for once, but apparently not.
No, of course not.
Director Hu told me to keep her suggestion a secret, but it seems nothing escapes Dr. Baiju's attention.
Never underestimate a serpent's sense of smell.
Yeah, like, I guess that's a takeaway of that story. Baizhu is just not transparent.
All I wanted
Not
was
at all.
to help Jialiang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife without any unfulfilled wishes making the journey more difficult than it needs to be. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. I'll just have to put it down in the books as a deferred consideration.
Probably, you know, Hu Tao kind of puts up a great point here. The story would have probably just been better if Hu Tao could have, like, enabled the ghost of, or like the spirit of Jialiang, whatever, him back to really give his final goodbyes to his family, so he could have a proper goodbye. That's where you could even bring Hu Tao in, and it would have worked. It would have worked. Instead, they kind of also, I feel like that must have been the intention. Like, why do you even bring Hu Tao into that story otherwise? That must have been the plan, and then they said, nah, it's too hard. Or it's too sad, I don't know, we can't do that. But, I don't know. Feels like it would have been, you would have had the proper goodbye thing, it would have kind of been a happy ending. And you wouldn't have had to do this whole magic thing.
One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him off to the Wangsheng funeral parlor the moment I found him.
Okay, at this point, everyone is eavesdropping. That's not okay.
You stay away from my dad! When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baizhu, and cure Dad for good!
Good luck studying medicine, kid.
Oh, is that right?
Heard that's hard.
Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wangsheng funeral parlor out of business. If you're serious about it, you'll have your work cut out for you. Traveler, Paimon, I'll catch you all another time.
Yeah, sorry, Hu Tao, for dragging you into this.
Is she finally gone?
Yeah, you're fine. Don't worry.
Well, that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion.
You mean a victory feast?
At times like this, a grand celebratory feast is in order.
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Zhongli and Ayu around the dinner table.
Well, I guess you earned this meal for some... Well, in some way you earned it.
Yay! Paimon can't wait! Alright, first things first, off to the market for some fresh ingredients. Let's go!
Wait up! I'll come too!
Baizhu, thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Don't mention it, Jiangli. I was just doing my duty.
Doesn't feel like a feisty moment, though. Not really.
Just your duty, huh? Baizhu, Changsheng, would you mind if we took this conversation outside?
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever done that. I like that.
Now that you are part zombie, there are some rules that you need to know.
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening.
First, don't forget to stretch your body regularly. Second, don't forget to...
Yes? Go on. Don't forget
She's
to...
absolutely terrifying him right now.
I forgot
That's a catch-22. Oh, Peachy. Chi-Chi. Well, take care of your zombie business, I guess. Must protect her at all cost. Must get her...
Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Chenyu Vale. Changshang, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the
Cocoa
other
goat,
hand,
right?
have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Baizhu. I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison I concocted in terms of the way it functions.
I guess he mentioned that he learned something from it.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life. I hope you're not too upset at me for copying your methods.
No, not at all. With your intellect, even if you'd never seen my poison, I believe you would have eventually arrived at the same approach. But I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a thorough understanding of it. Jialiang's still only been in your care for a few days. Not just that, you even managed to improve upon the original formula. That cannot be explained by intellect alone. Baizhu, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the poison on yourself?
Huh. Told you the truth would surface sooner or later.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changshang's contract lets you transfer between bodies, is it?
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxins and diseases.
Sounds like a horrible thing. Sounds like a... Is that helpful? Is that really helpful? Just imagine there's like some new disease or something and you have a doctor that can basically infect himself with it so he can experiment on himself? That's... I don't know, is there a benefit in that? I don't think so.
When I treated Jia Liang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did this allow me to alleviate the burden on him, but it also gave me an opportunity to study its properties.
Couldn't you study it on him?
There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now that the source has been destroyed, any remaining poison in me will have already dissipated.
That's a question. If he can just transfer the poison or the disease into something else, then it would be useful. But if he can only transfer it into his body or from his body into someone else, then that sounds kind of useless.
But you took such a huge risk. If we hadn't destroyed the god's remains back there, then even you might have... What am I saying? I'm in no position to criticize you for this. The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old, and I didn't want him using up any more of his own life force to treat my husband. But in the end, how were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another, and then you tried the poison on yourself too. It looks like both of us have ended up going the same way as our master before us. Are all disciples of Chenyu Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a short life, having given away our own for the sake of others? To fight relentlessly against the natural course of life and death, whatever the cost? Maybe our fate is sealed the moment we decide to study medicine.
We are doctors, Jiangli. We ought never say that anyone's fate is sealed.
Baizhu, I can tell that, over the years, you've used the contract with Changshang to transfer many diseases and toxins to yourself. There are so many that, some of them, I don't even recognize. Can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Jiangli. Every one of us from Chenyu Vale believes in the same thing.
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us! The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes, and said even Dad'll be able to taste them. Come and try them out!
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Hey, slow down. Baizhu, I know I won't be able to convince you, but please don't forget that if one day you're not around anymore, Chi-Chi, Gui, and all the friends who have grown fond of you, they will all miss you dearly.
There's no need to worry, Jiangli. I know what I'm doing.
I can only hope so.
Baizhu, what did Jiang Li mean by not around anymore? Are you gonna be okay?
Guess this scene is the justification for why they had to kind of develop a cure. But still, I don't know. Oh, so when Shang Shang was talking about fates, what did she mean exactly?
Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baizhu and Zhongli's master, has passed away at a young age.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said that the contract with you helps people live longer.
It is a very long story.
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell.
This art style never gets
Legends
old. It's so
told of an
pretty.
herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors, and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is, until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poison chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng And this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojun. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
Didn't she say the
None.
personality needs to match?
This contract
No wonder that it always is
will
the same
end with
answer.
me.
But he's not gonna pass it
Contract
on.
has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most pure of heart.
I hope you're right with this one.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average person by the miracle of overturning the laws of life and death.
By the way, the cutscene was damn well written again. And the cutscenes that went all out, they're always super good. Like the parallels they drew between the whole story and the poison and dealing with the art that they have. What did he say in the end? That this implied that he's not gonna pass on the art of this snake, or the snake is gonna die with him, basically.
Though they
I
know
think I
better than
interpreted
anyone else
correctly.
the fate that awaits them, when faced with the sorrows of humanity and the pain of losing their nearest and dearest, they cannot help but reach beyond human means. They are like moths that throw themselves into the flame, seeking a glimmer of hope in a dark world filled with pain and suffering.
So, Baizhu, does that mean...
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light, but doesn't want to be burned to a crisp. Cheng Sheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. Either Jia Liang feared for Jiang Li's life, or Jiang Li grieved over Jia Liang's sacrifice. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles. But I do not wish to join their ranks, nor do I wish to pass on this contract to anyone else in the future.
Yeah.
Huh? But didn't you already transfer a ton of diseases onto yourself?
Sounds horrible, by the way, that sentence is loaded.
What makes a poison poison? And what makes a disease a disease? When it comes down to it, are not both mechanisms that affect the operations of the human body? If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Perhaps the true elixir of immortality could in fact be a kind of poison. Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural order. But to me, it is no different from the way our ancestors tested the medicinal qualities of herbs by sampling each and every one. I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract, nor do I wish for Cheng Sheng to perish from losing her host. This leaves only one solution, doesn't it?
I guess, yeah. So, okay. I have guess my interpretation was semi-correct. So his plan is not to die. Like, the snake will die with him, but his plan is just to not die. Which seems a bit optimistic, but hey, it's, he's a doctor. Well, I have to become immortal then.
Precisely. I will be Cheng Sheng's final host, and the tradition of passing down the contract will end with me.
It's simple.
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself. Now you even want to save me. You're getting greedy, Baizhu.
You know, you should have been in Sumeru like a few versions ago. They could have made you a god. Just saying, you kind of missed out on that opportunity.
But isn't wanting to have it all what makes us human? For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path forward is up towards the moon.
Huh. For once, Paimon just does not know what to say.
Dr. Baizhu, Traveler, what are you still chatting about? The food's about to get cold.
We also have coconut milk for Changsheng and Paimon.
Hey, she got her cocoa milk.
Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten.
Oh, Paimon. Always the same.
I do envy Paimon sometimes. Eating her fill is enough to satisfy her body and mind.
Yeah, she's simple.
True. And yet, although we call them simple pleasures...
This means Ganyu was there. I don't like that thought.
Are such things as these not precisely why we mortals cling desperately to the life we have?
The ending was loaded with a bunch of great stuff. And now I have the problem that the ending like that wouldn't have worked if you wouldn't have found a cure. Yet I don't think it was the right decision to keep him alive. Then again, I am no writer, and I think the writers should have found a way to patch it together more nicely. But yeah, I like the quest theme. I just don't like that one part kind of puts a big dent into the overall thing. No, actually it's not that hard to fix. You just avoid that stupid build-up. Tell him you find a cure. Maybe even just at that moment where they look at each other and say, hey, we got like something that could help you. It's my goal to help you for whatever reason. Then later on go on about how selfless it is for him to make a poison or make a cure for him because he had to inject the poison into himself. I think that I could have worked. The build-up just felt that... Okay, yeah, I know what's annoying to me. Annoying is not that he died. Annoying is not that he survived. Annoying is that they make this whole fuss about him dying. Just like a, here's your time to cry now. And then, but everything is fine, don't worry. Haha, we tricked you into... It's emotional abuse in a sense. And this didn't feel good. Didn't feel good. Annoying was the build-up, yeah. The build-up wouldn't have been terrible if this was the end for him.
The doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent.